folks. I'm in Marshaba. And right now we're right in the midst of the hurricane.
When it crashed ashore Great Abaco Island, the winds were gusting over 350 kilometers an hour. Think about how fast that is. Buildings just broke apart. This one lost its roof, even as people rode out the storm inside.
Everyone pray for us, please. Please pray for us.
A life-threatening storm surge pushed a wall of water inland. Folks tried to find safety in schools, churches, emergency shelters. Others did not. And as the storm hit today, this message from their Prime Minister.
That I hope this is not the last time they would hear my voice.
I'm devastated.
In areas that Dorian has now left behind, destruction. But it's far from over. This gigantic storm is forecast to sit over the Bahamas until Monday, then head towards the U.S. Now, exactly where it could hit the U.S. or if it will at all isn't yet totally clear. The projected paths have Hurricane Dorian turning northeast once it's past the Bahamas and following the coastline up, which means people right up to the Carolinas are preparing for the worst tonight. Now, David Common is in Florida, and sure enough, people there are right in the middle of last-minute hurricane preps.
It may look like a beach paradise right now, but Sean Wiedeber is preparing for tomorrow, gathering sand in grocery bags to keep surging storm water out of his home.
I'll put them in my back door by the pool and in the front door. And
try to stop any of that water from getting in.
We did about 2 years ago and it helped with the water.
How many of these bags do you have to do?
I'll probably do about 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a lot of work ahead of you.
I got a lot of work ahead.
Better leave you to it.
Across Florida, the final push to protect is on. The eye of Dorian may not make landfall here, but even a side swipe could be devastating. The storm advancing slowly, giving it time to pummel buildings.
Just preparation's key. As long as you got the supplies that you need and just help people out when they need it, and that's pretty much it. Don't panic, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Now, trailer parks are often those most at risk because there's no foundations. This one has largely been abandoned. Many people have just got out, moved inland. This guy here has not only put up the corrugated metal on top of the windows, but he's actually strapped down the whole roof in the hopes that it won't blow away. Many have seen all this before, previous storms etched into repeatedly used plywood. But where and how and when exactly Dorian will bring it isn't exact, making it a challenge for coastal Floridians to decide whether to stay or go.
You know, they keep changing the track, and it's just hard to tell, so we just want to be ready.
In fact, hurricane projections are wrong about a third of the time, though as it gets closer, there is greater certainty.
One thing that's happening is we are noticing that the wind field is expanding. It's getting stronger. The wind field is expanding, which is not a good combination. Absolutely life-threatening, devastating.
Among the property owners of Florida is the president himself, whose Mar-a-Lago resort is in the path of hurricane-strength winds, and who today spoke of Dorian's sheer size.
I'm not sure that I've ever even heard of a Category 5. I knew it existed, and I've seen some Category 4s. You don't even see them that much, but a Category 5 is something that I don't know that I've ever even heard the term.
Of course, the term has been used, including right here in Florida just last year, Hurricane Michael, a Cat 5. And tonight, once again, Floridians are getting ready. You see that the streets are relatively quiet around us. All the buildings seem to be boarded up. If you aren't prepared yet, you probably aren't going to be.
Right. Okay, David, and where you are is where the winds should hit first on the U.S. mainland. How sure are we about how that forecasted track will actually play out?
So the models really are, Andrew, just projections. There's no guarantees about them. And even the top meteorologists are saying the slightest deviation in steering could push this storm right through the center of the entire state, or perhaps northwards towards Georgia, the Carolinas, even Virginia.